something to light real quick before we get into today's video, and I know you're probably excited to see more of the footage that you had just seen. So, I spoke to Dondi on Skype, and the guy wouldn't crack. He wouldn't give me any information on anything about this terminal, how to access it, because it is game-changing stuff if you are able to. It is massive, from what I understand. I cannot confirm if it's implemented in the game fully, or if this is a developer admin lock, meaning it is literally restricted because the admins are working on something, the developers are working on something. I don't know if that's this, or, which I think it is currently operational, because I was told that you need to fix it. You can't log in because it's locked out by the administrator because it needs to be repaired. The terminal in the main menu has to be repaired. Now, I spent 3 or 4 hours looking through game files and trying to see how I could repair this terminal. I tried all this. This does not work. Clicking this takes you to patch notes. There's nothing on screen that I can find that enables you to do anything. I even thought this was some kind of Morse code down here, and I tried decoding this, and just there's nothing on the screen that I found that I can click. I mean, when I think of having to repair it, I don't think wires because the terminal is on. I don't know if there's something in the game files. Maybe there is an exe within the game files you have to use that will quote-unquote repair the system, or maybe open a command prompt you can use. I'm not sure. I'm going to leave that up to you guys to try and figure out, because I've tried, I've ultimately failed, and I don't know how to access whatever this terminal is going to be. If you do get a heads up on how to access it or how to mess with it, just hit me up in Discord or something. We'll work something out. Anyways, guys, welcome back to the Isle. I'm perplexed by this. I can't get off this topic because I just want to know. I just want to know what the deal is with this. I want to know what's so game changing. I have noticed up here at the top there are things that change that are therefore much shorter than the normal images, and they are unique. I haven't taken time to go down through these yet. I might do that in some spare time within the week and see if I can come up with anything. I also notice that every now and again something weird happens with this main camera, and I'm willing to bet the static that flashes over at some instances that's different from all the other times has something hidden in it. I'd highly suggest recording the main menu for a good 10-ish minutes just to make sure you get everything, if everything's going to pop up, and then move from there. But as far as logging in, I don't know. The only thing that I can point to you in the direction of is Apollo Engineering, I think. That's basically all I found. I found a chroma file, and I don't even think that's anything significant. Like, I don't know I'm not a programmer. I'm not a developer. I don't know what a chroma file is. From what I understand, and from researching, it's just a data file. Tried opening it, tried messing around with the Apollo Engineering stuff, and I had no luck, unfortunately. This is depressing. All right, let's move in. So something I want to make clear with you guys real quick before we move into some of the footage that I have of these creatures in towns. One, not finalized in any way, shape, or form. This is from a development stream to give you an idea. What the hell that is here? I heard something else other than the whatever that was broadcasting. Anyways, I want to make it clear that, one, this stuff is still in development. It was from a development stream, and it's just to give you an idea of the scale, I guess, of fear, which is still nothing compared to what the final product will be with the correct lighting and texturing and stuff. Two, all of the town assets, all of the assets you see in that video are not finalized. They have work to do on those. They have to, I guess, redo some texturing and different stuff like that. I'm not too tech savvy. I don't know. I don't know exactly what they need to do. All I know is the creatures look amazing, so the town's going to look amazing at the end of the day. I don't even think the creatures are done, and they still look amazing. So once they start putting some polish on the main structures and stuff and textures for those, I'm sure they're going to look just as good. And three, everything is subject to change at the end of the day, so don't be surprised if everything is completely revamped. But I'm going to move into some of this stuff now for you guys. It's a little bit rough around the edges, but I think you're going to like it either way. That's why I'm showing you right now. I mean, hell, it got me out of bed. I was about to go to sleep at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and then I got PM'd, and I was like, whoa, hang on, what is this? I see a hypo sniffing outside a window. That looks so cool. And then the hype train kind of got to me, and I got up, and then I fell asleep at like 1 o'clock in my chair. Haha, video's late. Yep, that's the thing. All right, let's move into it. Can you just imagine looking out your window and having that as the sight? Oh, man. You guys are in for such a treat. It's so crazy incredible. This is the definition of incredible. I looked it up in the dictionary. I swear, I did. I did that. Or that. I can only imagine walking into your house and looking at it. Well, if your house looks like that, you're probably a big problem, but probably a bigger problem than a dinosaur, actually. But looking out the window and seeing that is probably the last thing you'd want to see. Let alone a giga. You get such a sense of scale with this game. You get such an incredible sense of scale with how big these things actually are. Like, we literally walk into a game that has creatures that are the size of, like, small houses. I mean, in my mind, that's pretty incredible. As far as I'm concerned, at least. I mean, that sounds pretty good. And then this right here, like, the hypo is literally the size of a, like, giant house. And this thing moves and is completely animated. Like, this is such a humongous feat to actually get to and complete. Like, everything in this game is to scale, and you look at the bushes and hide in these giant bushes, and, like, you're like, oh, it's a bush. It's not that big, because you visualize, like, a tiny bush. Then you realize your dinosaur is actually a lot bigger than what you had perceived, because you don't really have that much of a reference of scale. And then you look at the trees, and the trees reach to the freaking heavens. Like, there is no comparison. It's nuts. The animation for the hypospinal is amazing when it's sniffing. This is the sense system, by the way, I assume, for when they're sniffing around and trying to find you. So this is basically what you'd see them doing if they were trying to sniff you out and find you. Just keep in mind, it's very unlikely for a hypo to actually hunt you down or try to even bother eating you, because you're worth so little food to them, it probably wouldn't even affect their hunger pool, to be honest with you. So I don't think you really got to worry about the hypos. It's the Utahs and anything else that could be hiding behind those shrubs. That's what you got to worry about. Hypos won't really care about you. There's no the risk and reward just isn't that good. Even with the Rex, to be honest with you, the risk and reward, because I mean, realistically with that gun, you would mortally wound the Rex. Even if it killed you and you shot it a couple times, you would probably mortally wound it, to be honest with you. Which, not a good time for a Rex, or a Giga, or a Spino, for that matter. Spino is just so massive. I want to include this clip again because this is just incredible. You get to see such an incredible sense of scale for the Spino, at least part of this clip. You just get the incredible scale of how big this thing actually is. It's the size of the house. The sail is probably over the house when it's on its hind legs. To me, that's just... I can't even express it. I don't know how to properly express it. It towers over you when you're in the second floor of a house. That should speak for itself. Now, I just want to make a reference to that the weapon, when you're running with it, they're actually using a rigged first-person view with the third-person view or something somehow. So this isn't actually how it's supposed to be. It's just not animated or something, or something's not finished or polished or something. So the wobbling and stuff, all that movement, I don't think that's how it's supposed to be, unless maybe they've updated it and that's how they want it to be, but I don't think that's the case. God, it is so massive. And the lighting too, and I don't even think this is the finalized lighting system either. Like, this is just massive all around, and I love it. And now we get to see it outside. That's the new Giga model, by the way. So I think it's safe to say that last clip was the most intense for me, just because you hear it and then you need to look around and then you see it. The only thing that would make it scarier is if you hear something like that sniffing around for you and you just cannot locate it visually with your eyes. I always say there is nothing scarier than something you cannot see but you can hear. I'm always going to stand by that statement. Now, I've been messing around with this terminal while you've been watching this, I guess, and I still can't come to a conclusion as to how I can access this. Also, I want to put it out there now that in my last video, I showed you guys some artwork from Tapwing, actually, on a quote-unquote possible new strain. That is not a new strain. I finally have confirmation today that it is not a new creature coming to the game or anything. It is just fan art. That is literally all it is. Really cool concept. I love the idea of it, but it's just fan art, so you don't need to worry about that. I also want to make a reference real quick that I had everything confirmed that anything that I showed on that video besides that, I believe, is accurate to an extent. I think there was one more thing. I think it was the Hypocarno thing. It was actually a Hyporex with blood coming down its mouth. A lot of you guys DM me on Discord about that. So, detectives, hard at work. Appreciate it. I know there's more in that trailer or in that intro thing that I missed. There are other pictures that we have not seen, but I mean, I don't want to go over that again. That's a nightmare to go over unless you guys want me to. So if you want me to, let me know in the comment section down below. If you have any theories as to what this login terminal does, let me know as well. I mean, it's so like I can usually know almost everything about the game if I ask, and I agree to an NDA. I couldn't even get him to agree to an NDA. So it's literally game-changing stuff. Something can happen that is game-changing. Something happens that has to be game-changing, literally game-changing. It starts a series of events that just you need to figure it out yourself, basically, and there's no way or hope of ever figuring this out with help from a developer, I assume. You guys take a serious look at this. Anyone that has coding knowledge, take a look at the game files. I've already done that. I'm not a coder, therefore I didn't solve it. Someone that does code and mod probably has a much more likely chance of figuring something out. Repair the terminal and we get answers. Alright, so we're gonna get into a little bit of trouble, but perfectly fine because I'm a Utahraptor and I can handle myself. I know how to get through bushes, and I know my way around a Rex, maybe. Nothing else, but you get the idea. I want to know what your thoughts are on having dinosaurs in towns, and I'm going to leave probably the coolest clip, one of the coolest clips for last, which I'm going to show you in just a moment. Now, I'm on Tiger Lily no rules right now because Primordial Tyrant seems like it's down, for the moment at least. I logged back in, and, well, unfortunately, I couldn't log back in. That doesn't make sense, does it? No, that whole statement's flawed. It's alright. My channel's flawed, to be fair. So, I mean, in hindsight, it doesn't really matter, you know? But, no. This next clip that I have to show you guys, and final clip that I have from the dev stream, is basically playing as a Tyrannosaurus Rex walking through a town. And I instantly got Jurassic Park vibes because I was like, well, I remember a specific scene. And hi, Shant. A trike, what the hell? I didn't even see him. I remember a specific scene where the T-Rex walked through the town and caused a lot of mayhem. I'm actually probably going to rewatch that Jurassic Park movie once I finish this video, just because I can. That's what I want to do. So that's what I'm going to do. And speaking of Tyrannosaurus Rexes, I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but Mesozoica recently released a little teaser trailer. Now, they say their trailer wasn't complete and it wasn't supposed to represent the game. They wanted to do more stuff. I don't know if it was a leak or if someone pressed publish on accident, but my general gathering of it is that they weren't supposed to show people this. And, well, then something happened with Prehistoric Kingdom, which I'm gonna address that in a separate video, because I happen to like Prehistoric Kingdom a lot, and I don't like it when people target different communities that I like. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So you guys are gonna get all that juicy drama later on in the week sometime, I guess, whenever I make a Prehistoric Kingdom video. Now, for those of you who actually heard the Rex call, it is the embodiment of a dinosaur with throat cancer. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you guys listen for yourself. By the way, I left a link for this trailer in the description of the video. So what do you guys think? Do you think the Rex sounds good, or do you think it sounds bad? I mean, there's multiple flaws, I guess, with the I guess leaked reveal of Mesozoica's trailer and stuff, but at the same time, you can't say that Rex call was deliberate, right? Like, that's not actually how it's supposed to sound, right? I really hope not. Big problems if that's how it's supposed to sound. All right, give me your thoughts. I thought you guys would find that a little bit funny. So, let's move into the final clip. And that's basically it. That's walking through a town as a Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is something not many people get to say they get to do in video games, let alone in real life. Actually, if you've done that in real life, you are some sort of demigod and or god, and you are from a different planet if you've done that, personally. That's a stupid topic altogether. Anyways, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below on everything you've seen. I've been trying to include a little bit more Isle content and update stuff in videos recently, but I do want to go back into normal traditional gameplay too. It's just I'm just doing something different and relevant to my interest, and the game updates are the biggest relevance and the biggest interest I have, and the biggest interest the community has. So, I mean, I'm gonna do gameplay. Don't worry about it. I want to do survival. I want to try out the new game mode. I want to see what's going on with the game and how it feels to play it. Genuinely play it. Oh well, that's it. I will see you in the next video.
Where we are, descriptions are hazy. It hasn't helped these hours of pain.